Hey everyone, it's Angela from Bargains with Joy. You can find me on most of the reselling platforms, and I'm here to share my very first what sold for the month of July 2025. And hopefully I got all the numbers right, but we're just going to give it a go and try it out. So first off, with my least performing platform, which was Mercari, I only made one sale on Mercari for the month of July, and it was this men's run and fly extra large blue button up with stars and suns and moons and stuff on it. I paid $3 for it at the regular Goodwill, and my net profit was $11.86. On Depop, which is outperforming Mercari and starting to go right head to head with Poshmark for sales, my first sale in July was these leather earth spirit sandals. I paid $2 for them at a yard sale, and I made a net profit of $13.73. And the next sale was this Old Navy 3X cream with gold accent top. This one had a lot of likes on all platforms. That sold $15.99, which made my net profit. Oh, what did I pay for it? I paid $2.72 for it at the regular Goodwill, and my profit was $12.08. My next sale was these vintage jeans, which were really cool wide leg sailor jeans. Sold them for $25. I got them for free from a friend, and so they were a profit of $23. And then I had these vintage Polo Ralph Lauren, really cool Oxford shoes, but they were really small. It's only a woman's 5.5. So I've had them for quite a while. They were $16 or sold for $16.15. But again, they were free, so I made a profit of $14.71. And then I got this collaboration between Izod and Lacoste and Izod shirt. I got it at the bins, and I was super excited because I know that brand, that collaboration brand, is doing really well right now. But I got home and found that there were a few stains in it that I had missed. So it only went for $8, but with the cost of goods of $2, I made $5.06. And then I sold this Moon River white puff sleeve dress, a maxi length, for $20.90, and I paid $5 for it at the regular Goodwill, and I made a profit of $15.68. And then my last sale on Depop for July was this collab between Puma and Black 5, and I paid $7.20 for it at the regular Goodwill just because I knew it was a really interesting piece. So I would have profited $32, but unfortunately for some reason it wasn't able to be delivered, so it got returned, and I put the option for the buyer to fix his address and repurchase it from me, which he never did. So that was kind of a bummer. Moving along to Poshmark, the first thing I sold in July were these Steve Madden patchwork rainbow Mary Jane wedge slip-on woman's size 10, and I sold them for $16. I have had these for at least 2 years. I finally delisted them and relisted them, and after that they sold pretty quickly. I paid up for these because I thought it was a good brand when I first started out. So again, I've had these for almost 3 years. I paid $6.23 for them, so after fees and everything I made $4.25. Then I sold these Vince Camuto leather studded strappy women's boots, size 7.5. And I did pay up a little bit for these for $6, but I knew they would sell. There was one rhinestone missing, which was maybe why it took a little bit longer to sell. I've had them for several months. So I paid $6, sold them for $31, and made a net profit of $16.48. And I sold this Lauren Moshi black colorful rhinestone studded sugar skull shirt, size small, in a rare print, and it sold for $29. That was a zero cost of goods to me, so I made $31.20. And then I sold this Biso Michelle Bohat leopard print jewels and lace cami 90s/Y2K. And that sold for $24 in, I don't know, like 2 days of listing it. It was less than a week. $2 cost of goods at the bins, and I made a profit of $17.20. The next thing to sell on Poshmark were the Riker Women's Nikita Gray fashion sneaker shoes, size 41 or 9.5. And I sold them for $20. They were zero cost of goods to me, so I made $13.68. And the next sale on Poshmark were these gold Converse one-star men's shoes, size 10.5. These were a pair of shoes that I've had way too long. I got in the very beginning of my journey, so at least like 3 years old, and I thought all Converse were a good buy, and so I bought them not really knowing anything. I paid $6.40 for them, and I meant to take new pictures, delist and relist them, because on Poshmark, you know, you keep doing the closet clear out, and I kept clearing them out and they didn't sell, and I kept forgetting to relist them. So they did sell for $9, and I made a profit of negative 35 cents. And my last Poshmark sale for the month of July was this Sleeping on Snow Anthropologie Pink Ivory Marie cable knit sweater, size extra large. Sold for $20, and this was another bins find, so I made a profit of $14. Along to eBay, which is my best selling platform. I get a little over 50% of all my sales on eBay, so if you do not cross list, you do need to start cross listing. eBay can seem intimidating, but it's really not. Once you get the first 1 or 2 sales on eBay, it's really a cinch. At least I do clothes and shoes for the most part. Maybe if you're selling other things, it might not be so easy. But anyways, my first sale was this Roxy floral embroidered denim shirt, 90s women's, size medium with shoulder slits. And I sold that for $15.20. That was free to me, so I made a profit of $13.58. I sold this AC/DC woman's extra small pink short sleeve heavy metal band cropped t-shirt for $10. That was also free to me, so I made a profit of $9. These 2 Nike Golf Dry Fit Performance Aqua and Pink polo shirts sold for $19, and they would have been a profit of $17.39, but the buyer returned due to fit. The next sale was this lot of Tsum Tsums, Lion King, Ant-Man, Inside Out, Monsters, Inc. I got these a couple of years ago at the regular thrift store and lotted them up to sell them, and they've slowly been selling off. So I sold them for $14.50. I put about $3 into them, and after the fees and everything else, I made a profit of $14.29. This BCBG Max Azria Chevron flowy blouse, button blue stripes, size small, sold for $17. That was another no cost of goods to me, so I made $15 on that. Is it Luciano or Luciano Barbera brown and blue cotton checked collar dress shirt, sold for $30, and this sold within a matter of a few days. I had no idea. I just grabbed it at the bins, figured I would look it up, and saw that the comps were pretty good, especially since it was flannel. I paid $1 for it, and I made a net profit of $31.35. This Sundance linen cotton peasant boho top, size medium with lace accents, sold for $16. This was another bins find, but my bins was going out of business, so at this day I got everything for half off, so 99 cents a pound. So I paid 42 cents for it and made a profit of $13.89. This Sack Roots fold over artist circle crossbody tan and cream minimalist purse sold for $18. I probably could have held on to it for a little bit longer and got a few more dollars for it, but I just kind of wanted to turn and burn, make a little bit of money quickly. So I paid $1 and made $16.46. This vintage Victoria's Secret gold label kimono robe floral 90s lingerie one size. If you look for Victoria's Secret, look for the gold label. That is a little bit more desirable. I paid $4 for that and made $15.54. This Athleta support tank top with the built-in bra, size extra small, was another bins find. So $1 cost of goods, and I made $6.25. This was a really kind of a cute and fun find. A vintage express hot pink 100% silk and lace slip dress, Y2K 90s small nightgown, sold for $19.72. I paid $1.88 at the regular Goodwill, and I made a profit of $12.41. These Allegria Sparkle Accent multicolored leather sandals sold for $23.46. I actually had these for also a couple of years, and I relisted and delisted them, and they sold pretty quickly once I did that. So if you have old listings, relist, delist and relist, change some of the wording, maybe take some new pictures. I paid $3.20 and made a profit of $16.36, and the buyer was extremely happy with them. This Oisel, I'm not sure how to say it, lightweight double mesh tank top, highlighter green, size medium, sold for $15. I paid $3 on Whatnot for that, so I made a profit of $9.27. This vintage Levi's white with red and blue striped shirt, boxy oversized fit, size medium, was super popular on all the platforms. I had some really lowball offers and went back and forth with a couple people, but I knew that it would sell, so I didn't take any lowball offers. I paid 46 cents and made a profit of $12.15. I sold this Apple Watch Series 3 gray 42 millimeter with a black Nike sports band. This was also free to me. My father-in-law gave it to me to sell. I sold it for $65 and I made $51.86. Next is this Zara cotton boho embroidered eyelet chambray basic women's blouse, women's size medium. Sold it for $16, and this was a buy of $2 at the bins. Made a profit of $13.43. This Neiman Marcus 100% cashmere leopard print metallic size small sweater was no cost to me, so I made $23.62. And I bought this 90s vintage Liz woman's striped button-up vest because I thought vests were in, and I had sold some other vests pretty quickly, but this one sat for several months, and I even paid up for this. I don't normally pay up for things. I paid $7 for it, so my profit was only $1.71, but that's better than a loss, right? This World Market maxi halter dress, fully cotton, bohemian flowy, airy size small medium, was a hit on Depop and eBay. It was like my top viewed item on eBay for about 2 months it took to sell, and it sold for $25. I had $1 into it, so I made $21. This Pearl Izumi woman's hot pink cycling lightweight jacket with a back pocket, size 2X, sold for $13. I had 67 cents into it, so I made $12.45. This James Purse women's polo white long sleeve collar v-neck, size 3, sheer, sold for $20. I had 42 cents into it, so I made a profit of $19.03. And this Rising International boho long sleeve tunic top dressed, size extra large, sold for $25. It sold like in less than a week. So I was at the bins, I took my friend there, she had never been, and I saw one of these items and I was like, grab all of these. And there was 4 total from this brand. So 2 of them have sold and I still have 2 left, and then I actually found a couple more, and they sold fairly quickly, around $20. So I actually made a couple dollars on shipping on this. So I actually made $26.86 net profit. And then my favorite sale of the month of July, at the same bins trip where it took my friend to, I found this Hollister baby doll green striped top, and I knew that it would go really fast. I didn't know how fast it would go. I paid $2 for it, and it sold in 3 hours after listing it. And it sold for $55. I made a profit of $47.07, and the buyer left me a stellar review on eBay with how happy she was for it. So that was my month of July 2025. What was your favorite sale, and would you like to see another one of these? Have a good day.